I fervently believe that Palantir Technologies Incorporated will be a $500 stock within the next 10 years. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. There are a few catalysts that are going to propel this little-known company, apparently, to great heights, to more than $1 trillion valuation. It's currently trading at $58 billion. If we take 58 and we grow it to $1 trillion, there's potentially a lot of returns there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what is my thesis behind Palantir? What is it about this company that makes it so special? Well, number one, this is the Messi of AI. Palantir is leveraging AI in order to utilize data analytics to improve the profitability of commercial clients and to help governments with whatever the governments need to do. This is especially important in the United States. Currently, there are huge tensions between the United States and Western-aligned countries and China and Russia and Iran, the axis of evil, okay? What happens when there's tensions between the United States and Western Alliance and China and Russia? Lots of money is going to pour into government contracts. Who is a beneficiary of government contracts? Palantir. As things heat up between the United States and China, mark my words, there will be much more money, much more solid revenue, recurring revenue, thrown at Palantir as a direct result of the tension between the two largest economies in the world. Next, Palantir is going to see a massive explosion of revenue. You're not seeing it now. This is the most recent earnings report. Their last revenue year-over-year growth rate was 21%. That's pretty good, right? But that's not what they were doing before. However, there's a key thing that everybody seems to be missing here. U.S. commercial customer count grew 69%. So not only do we have rising tensions with China and Russia, I don't know if you heard of what's going on in that country just to the west of Russia. Then we have commercial customer count growing 69%. U.S. commercial remaining deal value grew 74%. So you see the revenue is only growing 21%, the total revenue. But the customer count's only growing 69%. Here's why. When a company acquires a new customer, they have to amortize, they have to accrue the revenue over the life of the contract. You're not going to see all the revenue up front. You're going to see the revenue as the company delivers the service. All of this future revenue is being baked in before your very eyes, but you're not seeing it yet on the financial statements because it's not being earned by Palantir. That's why commercial revenue only grew 27%, but customer count grew 69%. You're going to see some crazy revenue growth numbers, both on the commercial side and on the government side, okay? What's next? Palantir's balance sheet is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Let's talk about their cash and marketable securities. They have, as of March 31st, 2024, and remember, this company is printing money. They have $520 million of cash on their balance sheet and $3.3 billion of marketable securities, treasuries, for example. That's almost $4 billion just of cash. You know what I think they're doing with that cash? It's been sitting there for a while, right? What are they doing with it? I think when we have another market correction, which always happens, I think Palantir is going to scoop up a bunch of very cheap AI companies, which is going to be a massive catalyst for their future revenue. They can use this cash to scoop up an insane number of companies because a lot of these companies are going to sell off. Okay, I mean, you know, maybe we're in a bubble, maybe we're not. But the market always tends to go through corrections. It happens. They can use this cash to scoop up dozens of small AI startups, incorporate that into their current services, and use that to generate even more revenue from commercial and government contracts into the future. Once Palantir gets a contract, they tend to stay. You saw that growth in commercial customers. I'm bullish. I'm very bullish. This could easily get to $500 per share. No doubt in my mind. Zero doubt. Now, the last major catalyst. I don't know why people don't seem to understand this. Palantir currently is not part of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the gold standard of stock indexes. Palantir meets all the requirements to be included in the S&P 500. And they will eventually be added to the S&P 500. I am 110,562% positive that Palantir, with its amazing growing revenues, its amazing cash flow margins, its amazing profit margins, will be included in the S&P 500. This company ain't going bankrupt. Now, here's what's going to happen. The S&P 500's market capitalization is $46 trillion. Let's assume Palantir makes up just 1%. Just 1% of the S&P 500. How much money is going to be thrown at Palantir? Well, we have 46 trillion right here. We got million, billion, trillion. 1% of that is $467 billion of market capitalization. All Palantir has to do is be included in the S&P 500 and become 1% of the S&P 500, and Palantir's market capitalization will be $467 billion. It's coming. It is coming. Look at these margins. Let's go pull up the financial statements, okay? Free cash flow margin is insane. 23, 48, 20%. Their free cash flow per share is going to the mother effing moon. This company is going to print money. Every single quarter, they improve their operating income. Every single quarter, they improve their operating margin. It's almost like this company has finally turned a corner and is going to make a lot of money into the future, especially with all those customers. That's right. So, I am going to put probably half of my portfolio into Palantir. I'm thinking $250,000 into Palantir stock. Now you may, it's expensive. It's expensive. Do you even understand what valuation is? Stocks price in future growth. That's why the ratios are high, because this company is about to experience future growth. The profits and cash flows of this company are about to explode, and the market is pricing that in. I don't care about the valuation. You should have bought it down here like I did. Instead, now you're looking right here. But even then, you could still potentially participate in the future gains. Now, to close this video off, this is not financial advice. If the stock goes up, I can get credit. If the stock goes down, it is your fault. If you want a sponsored video, see the pinned comment below. You can send me $50 and I will make a video on whatever topic you want. I don't do price targets though, unless it's for my own videos. I don't do price targets for you. If you want to buy my book, check out Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. And if you want a one-on-one training session where I teach you about how to read financial statements, I'm a certified public accountant. It's going to be $75 an hour. Click the pinned comment below. I hope you learned something today. I hope my thesis on Palantir makes sense. And good luck 20,000xing your money. Talk to you later.